A big hello to everybody out there right now who's watching this video. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Mavic Pro, specifically how to make it crash proof. I am pretty sure that you don't want to make that same mistake that I made on my first Mavic Pro flight. It was disastrous. Before I go into the details of how to make this drone safe for flight so you can save you money from crashing, I want to tell you about what happened to me during my first flight, my maiden flight of the Mavic Pro. I was so excited. So basically I won a bid on eBay, and before winning this bid I was searching and doing all my research on Mavic Pros and to see all the features of this drone, and I realized that this drone is spectacular. I want this. So when I won my eBay bid, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to get this thing. I waited days upon days upon days upon days, and then the package arrived at my doorstep. It arrived at night, and I was like, wow, it's night, right? I don't know how to fly a drone. This is my first time flying a drone. Should I fly this? My excitement took over me and I said, hey, fly this drone. You've watched too many videos on how to fly this drone to not know how to fly this drone right now. So I took the drone out right in front of my door, of course outside, and I fired it up. It sounded so sweet. I took the drone up in the air and it flew, and I was like, wow, this drone is spectacular, I love it. Then it came down and I was trying to figure out, like, hey, how close will it be before this drone stops when it comes to my face? Because I've learned that it has sensors that allows it to stop when it senses approaching objects within a feasible amount of distance away. So I was like, hey, does this thing work? And it was not stopping. I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know what's happening, maybe this drone is broken. But of course I did not go in all the features to realize that, hey, it was turned off. You understand? Then I kept on flying the drone, and and then the Mavic ended up in a spot that I don't know if the greatest pilot could help it. Basically the drone was in a tight spot where the wall meets the ceiling, that corner. And I was basically looking at the drone and wondering, what is its orientation? Like, is the camera facing the wall or is the camera facing back? But I was so out of it. I was in shock. Like, it's hovering and hitting the wall, and I hear the blades like ripping apart. I'm like, oh my god, it's my first time with this drone. I don't want to lose it. And I was just so frightened, so I moved the joystick hoping that I'm doing the right things to get it out of the spot, and it hit into the wall and it came tumbling down right in the ground, smashed. The gimbal was all the way, I don't know, the gimbal looked out of place. The propellers off the drone, scratches, the arms were bent back, and I was like, what did I just do? 5 minutes and I crashed my drone. So I took the drone inside, checked the arms, and I realized that basically it was bent back in the natural motion in the way it was made. So I was like, let me put it back in place, that's fine. The gimbal, basically, it was just, I guess, it fell back basically because of the impact, and it was easy to put back in place. It was just stuck behind itself. That was okay. The gimbal works fine now. And but the propellers were shattered. I mean, I don't know, I was so distraught. I was like, hey, how will I fix this problem? Because I don't have that money right now to be buying another Mavic Pro. So I went ahead and did my research. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make your Mavic Pro or any drone that you have crash proof. I mean, even if it gets past all these things that I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how to make your damage minimal. So stick around for these facts. So let's just say you've bought your first Mavic Pro and you're trying to take it from point A to point B. During transportation, you want to make sure that your drone is in optimal safety to avoid any indecent motion that would cause damage to your drone. So firstly, you want a proper padded bag to carry your drone inside. For double protection, I make sure that my drone is in the carrying cases that were laid for them. These casings are already padded and hard on the outside. So it's hard on the outside and soft on the inside. That's good for your Mavic Pro. So let's say you don't have the carrying case for the remote control and you want to protect it. This joystick holder right here protects the joystick from moving all over the place in different orientations during travel. It is quite cheap for what it does. I mean, I think I got this for about $2. The build quality is awesome, I think. And it has the air vents to protect it from having the suction effect during travel. It's quite great on your joystick. I think it's a wonderful addition to your Mavic Pro set. Along with the carrying case for the Mavic Pro, you want to make sure that you still have this handy thing right here. Okay, this is not specifically the best gimbal cover for flying. The one that you want basically is one with the opening that allows airflow to enter the air vents, because you don't want your Mavic Pro to starve of air, you know. It would overheat, and that's another way to crash your drone. Apart from the gimbal cover, you want to have a gimbal holder. This gimbal holder right now is 3D printed, but I think it is fabulous. It holds my gimbal so perfect, absolutely perfect. I mean, this gimbal doesn't have an ability to really move around like that. It's locked, it's really locked in position. I really like it. So I go both ways. I have the gimbal cover and the gimbal holder. I mean, that crash really had me protected after that. I don't want anything to happen to my drone. Taking off the gimbal cover, you want to make sure that your lens is scratch proof. Alright, I went ahead and make sure that this lens is scratch proof by getting ND filters, or I mean, you can get whatever you want. Just make sure that this lens is free from scratch by protecting it. I mean, you can get a polarizer or something like that if you don't want to get the ND filter, but these are good. Now let's talk about mid-flights. Props. Props are absolutely important in flying this Mavic Pro. It is the primary airfoil into making this thing fly. So you want to make sure that you have the best props for your Mavic Pro. Specifically, the best prop for your Mavic Pro has to be the authentic Mavic Pro propellers by DJI. Reason being, I've heard people buying fake propellers from other markets, and these things ended up breaking during flight and their drone comes crashing down into the ground. This here is one important asset into making your Mavic Pro crash proof. This right here solves my problem in crashing into walls and crashing into ceilings and having your drone falling from the sky like a rock. So let me reveal what this is. These are prop guards. I think these prop guards should be owned by every drone pilot out there. It doesn't matter your skill level. I mean, every rollerblader crashes sometimes. Every skateboarder crashes sometimes. Every professional biker crashes sometimes. So a Mavic Pro crash could really put a dent in your wallet. So you want to make sure you get these things for yourself. I mean, these right here cost about, let's say, $10–15. You know, so it is good money to invest in your drone. And what I like about these prop guards is that they protect it from low impact with the ground when landing, because they have landing gears that increases the elevation when it's on the ground. Because I remember flying this drone before, and when coming down, I honestly believe that the gimbal did touch the ground. I think my camera did touch the ground because it did something weird. Sometimes I believe the Mavic Pro lands itself too hard, and these prop guards have the ability to absorb a hard impact when landing, and I really appreciate them. I'll put them on and see how they work. So the correct way into powering up this drone to fly is to firstly turn on your control. Yeah, when you hear that sound, that means it's getting connected. So then you turn on your Mavic Pro. Okay, calibration test is completed. Then you attach your phone and connect it to the DJI Go app. So I'm now in the GPS mode and it's ready to go. So let's power this baby up and see how well she flies. So let's go ahead and see how this drone performs with the added weight. And yeah, I don't think it should be much of a difference, seeing how well this Mavic Pro drone performs with added weight. Today the wind is fairly calm. The drone should definitely withstand everything coming at it. It should be fairly steady, so let's check that theory. Okay, there's so far little vibration from the prop guards, but I mean the motors are spinning, so it will be affected by that. But I'm really more interested in seeing what it's like during hover and during flight. That's pretty steady. The drone is definitely holding up. Yeah, it's fairly steady for the added weight. I mean, you will get some steady shots flying the drone like this. And again, the plus is the fact that your drone is definitely safe for flight. You will fly with more confidence knowing that your drone is crash proof. Well, as you can see, the drone flies pretty decent. Flies pretty decent. There is no noticeable performance drop. No noticeable performance drop at all from this drone. This drone flies pretty sweet nonetheless. Let me just take her in to say hello to you guys and welcome to my channel. Yes, there she is. Well, the sensors are going off the hook. Yeah, hello. What she's saying, hello. Welcome to my channel. She flies pretty decent. Well, as I can see right here, I mean, there is some, whenever I turn the controller left hard and whenever I yaw too hard, you can see the gimbal cover in the shot. Whenever I yaw too strongly, you can see the gimbal cover in the frame. So let me go ahead and see what's up with that. Yep, there it is. And for some portion of it I can see the prop guards, but take the yaw smoothly, it will be okay. If you yaw smoothly, it will be okay. You should be able to get some beautiful shots. Oh yes. It's a fabulous machine. This is what the drone looks like in medium grass. It's just buried. Like, this is no way acceptable. In a situation like this, people just accept it because they'll say, hey, it's just grass, and the blade will just cut right through it like an expensive lawnmower. But the grass can still do an amount of damage to this drone, especially the lens, the glass on the lens. It could make some nice microscopic scratches on the lens, and nobody wants that. That's an imperfection that will be on your lens until you decide to change your lens or change your drone, and that's an expensive switch. The situation is not always grass. Sometimes it can be twig, sometimes it can be rocks, sometimes it can be an uneven surface. So having these extended landing gear will definitely help out this type of situation. Now let's see the comparison with the landing gear and the drone without the landing gear. So let's see. Nice landing. So right away you can see that the drone is definitely elevated from the grass, and the lens is safe from being scratched by the sharp edges of the grass. And if you are landing on an uneven surface, these extended landing gears will help out this situation. The thing about these specific extended landing gears is that they have some nice rubber tips that helps with the grip and helps smoothen the landing with the absence of the jello effect that sometimes you'll notice on your screen whenever the drone comes down very hard. Let's see what this thing's made of. There we go, protection. Yeah, I should have had this on my maiden flight. Let's just continue to bang it on the wall. Let's see if this thing will come down like a rock. It's holding up. Pretty nice. Let's try the other side. Nice. Let's try it from the corners now. Let's turn this thing diagonal. Pretty good. Nice. I feel safer already. Good. So the Mavic Pro is definitely now crash proof. Thank you all for watching this video. See you guys next time, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel. And by the way, I'll be starting my vlog soon, so I hope you guys like that. So next time, take care guys. Take care.